Good morning and thank you. I'm going to speak about the impact of the STAMP program in Italy. Paolo Moderato should be here, and there are two conflicting events. I will tell you about the other one right now. Many data are a testimony of what's happening, and we are observing an increase in the rate of the diagnosis for autistic kids, and this is happening also in Italy. And there are more than 400,000 families with autistic kids now in Italy. What's happening recently in 2011, finally guidelines were introduced in Italy to treat autism. So the guidelines get rid of every kind of therapy, horse therapy, flower therapy, perfume therapy, whatever name you will attach to therapy for autistic kids. They got rid of everything. They established two things. ABA is important for kids. It's the only evidence-based therapy we have up to now, and cognitive behavior therapy to support families. So there are two things that the guidelines clearly state. But what happened is that there is no treatment in Italy. There is no ABA treatment. So we have very advanced guidelines and no one behind that guidelines. This means that the national system, and we have heard about health system and the way the kids are treated. The national health system doesn't provide ABA treatment for those kids. The national system is divided in different parts, and the budget is allocated to regions. So the regions have an autonomy of decision how to spend this money. There is no budget for early intervention, and there are few behavioral trained people, but they don't work within the national system. So what is the main effort of the national system, which is really important, at least in Italy, is for diagnosis. So you go to the national system, you get a diagnosis for your kid, and that starts a process, that means a legal process to protect that kids in a certain way. But that doesn't mean that you access the best evidence treatment right now. So how we try to work on the situation, how we can change the situation. We know that ABA treatment is very, very efficient, it works a lot, but one issue is how we apply on large scales. This is an issue. It's a truly issue, because we, in literature and the experience, and it's a 50 years experience, so it's not that new experience. Autistic kids have been treated on a personal basis, on a one-to-one basis, very small centers or even big centers, but they do not have an impact on large population. This is what we need, an impact on large population. And we have seen already an umbrella just before Mickey. So we think of YESCOM as an umbrella organization. So YESCOM is trying to connect many different people and try to work on different levels. And also there is one piece of YESCOM that it's very important to us to answer those how you spread a science over a country, and it's called MIPIA. MIPIA, it's an early intervention program, and the challenge that MIPIA wants to face is scattering the program all over the country. So just think of people that work in the same way. Just think of people that work in a center. They have meetings, they have supervision, they have protocols, common tools of evaluation. They work in the same way, but they are scattered all over the country. This is the challenge that MIPIA is trying to respond. So think of this kind of situation, and think of this project that that's the STAMP project and the Simple Step project embedded in this kind of model, so it can spread the knowledge. And one thing that is important for us, and one thing that it's an answer that comes from the STEM project, is the way we can connect the people that work and are relevant for an autistic child. Of course, the child, but there are teachers, there are parents, and there are the expert that works with the child. So the Simple Step project, the Simple Step program, it's a way also to join these people together, to give them a common vocabulary, to give them a common vision to work on. And where this common vision brings to. This is why Paolo is not here. We have been granted from APTDA, which is a strange organization, we didn't know, but we received it as the charity of the year. It's the manufacturer of engines. But it's interesting because they fell in love with our projects. So our project is to have scattered small pilot center all over Italy. The first one we made was in Parma. The project's called ABA4. And then the first one was ABA4 Parma. And we will expand the project. So to expand the project, we will use a Simple Step. And it's not a question of knowledge, it's also a question of training, it's also a question of work together, it's a question of having a common language. I come from a university which is based in Middle Sicily with a Greek name which is called QUART. And I'm referring to a Greek expression which is called koine. Koine was the common language of the Mediterranean. So think of Simple Step. Koine means common. It's the root of the word common. And so think of Simple Step as a common language, a language that speaks everybody. And so we will use Simple Step for large-scale diffusion, for facilitating training, obviously to increase ABA skills, to better treatment integrity. One of the things that Neil pointed out was the tool for delivering an ABA treatment is the man, the person, the human who is working with the child. So the better is this tool. We call it treatment integrity. The better he or she works, the better results we have. So a Simple Step could be one of the things that we can use for treatment integrity. And the other one is to deliver training to larger groups and collect meaningful data. Everyone knows that behavior analysts love data. So I want to show you a curve. Can I? Okay, it's the only curve I've seen in any population. It refers to 69 children that NIPIA follows. So, to give you a sense of what this curve means, just think of this scale, which is called a VB map. It maps language skills. The maximum score is 170, and it refers to a child of 5 years old, a child that communicates perfectly. So after 3 years of follow-up in this group, the mean is 140, which is a huge, this is the difference. It's a huge amount of increase. And one thing we discovered in this specific population is that this score is directly related, and one of the predictors at baseline is mending, that is making a request. So if we have a high level of request at baseline, the score is higher at the outcome. This means that if we can spread the science over a large group, we can see prediction, we can see things that we can do, we can see the way we can work better. Because ultimately, our goal is to make really the difference for the children and their families. And we think that the STEM project will do. Thank you.